Hi everybody, thanks for joining us for another one of our practical lessons. In this video, we'll go through P&G's 2017 annual report. Specifically, we'll be interested in seeing the way company's assets are represented in its balance sheet. Let's make a quick search for the firm's consolidated balance sheet. We are interested in assets. Here we are. We have these types of assets: cash and cash equivalents, available for sale investment securities, accounts receivables, inventories, deferred income taxes, prepaid expenses, and assets held for sale. Right. In our previous lesson, we discussed cash, accounts receivable, and inventory in its three states: raw materials, work-in-progress goods, and finished goods. And you see them present in P&G's balance sheet. So that's great. What about the other items we haven't seen so far? Let's start with available for sale investment securities. These can be bonds, options, futures, and shares the company has bought because it had extra liquidity. As the name suggests, these aren't likely to be held in the long run. Deferred income taxes are taxes the company's paid now, but relate to future periods. Hence, the company must pay less tax in these future periods. Therefore, the payment of taxes now results in an asset, a future claim the company has. Prepaid expenses are similar to deferred income taxes, actually. The only difference is they designate costs differently than taxes. For example, if a company rents a real estate property and pays its rent for an entire year in advance, it can register prepaid expenses as an asset on its balance sheet because it has a claim it can make in the future. The asset has been prepaid for the entire year. Therefore, the company has the right to use it. And finally, we have assets held for sale. These are not investment securities, but other assets the company wants to sell. Okay, these are the assets in P&G's balance sheet. As you can see, there is a subtotal, which shows their value amounted to $26.5 billion as of June 2017. P&G's non-current assets comprise property, plant, and equipment, goodwill, trademarks and other intangible assets, and other non-current assets. Earlier, we discussed PP&E and what it shows us. Goodwill and trademarks are two of the topics we will touch on later in the course. And other non-current assets is a category of other miscellaneous assets, which are not part of the categories above. Okay, excellent. What if we wanted to go a step further and dig into what's contained in property, plant, and equipment, for example? How can we do that? Well, the important thing to remember is that companies provide notes to their financial statements where they describe each generic category, such as the one PP&E is made of. Let's search for property, plant, and equipment in this PDF file. Okay, here's what we have. Buildings for $7 billion. Machinery and equipment, land, and constructions in progress. The amount we see in the balance sheet is less any accumulated depreciation. Tables like this one are available for almost all generic categories in the balance sheet.